So in the previous lecture, we learned that we can use the nslookup or the ping command to send a request to a server that we control, such as this Burp Collaborator domain, to discover blind command injection vulnerabilities. Because once we send that request, we're going to be able to capture it in here, or if we're sending it to our own server, we'll be able to see the request in the logs. And I said that's enough proof to say that the target server is vulnerable to a command injection. And I also said in a pen test, you can inject a command to send you a reverse connection to your own computer and get an interactive shell where you can fully execute commands, read the results, and control the server. Now, depending on the scenario, you might find yourself in a situation where you're not able to get an interactive shell, and you just want more proof to know that you're actually able to execute commands. Or you might be missing some information before you're able to get an interactive shell. So in this lecture, I'm going to show you how to take this exploit right here one step further and use it to actually execute commands on the server and see the results, so that you're not simply limited by reading the requests that you're getting in here. And doing that is actually very simple. We're still going to be using the nslookup command, but we're going to edit it so that we perform an nslookup to the command that we want to execute on the server, surrounded by these quotes in here. And as a result, the terminal is first going to execute the command that you have between the two quotes and replace it with the result of the command execution, like so, and then perform an nslookup to whatever result you got from executing this command .yourserver.com. Then we're going to be able to see the logs of our server, and we're going to see that somebody made a request to the result of the execution of my command .server.com, and this way I'll be able to get the result of executing my command. Let me show you a quick example before we do this. So I'm going to clear this, and I'm going to copy my Collaborator domain to clipboard, and I'm simply going to go nslookup. I'm going to put one of these quotes. I'm going to put the command that I want to execute, which is uname, close the quote, put a dot so that this is considered as a subdomain, and then I'm going to paste my Burp Collaborator domain. So my system is first going to execute uname, get the result of that, which is going to be Darwin, and then send an nslookup to darwin.mydomain. Then I'm going to read the logs of my domain, and I'll be able to see that somebody made a request to darwin.mydomain, and therefore I'll know that the result of executing the uname command is Darwin. So let me show you. I'm going to hit enter. And we're going to go to the collaborator. We're going to click on poll now, click on the result that we got, and perfect. As you can see, the first part of the request now is Darwin, because we're making a request to the result of the execution of the uname command, which is Darwin, as you can see in here, dot whatever domain that you control. So we're going to do the exact same thing in here. We're doing the nslookup command to our Burp Collaborator domain. We're just going to use two back quotes and put the command between it. So we're going to run the uname command, and we're going to put a dot in here to make this a subdomain. And that's it. We're good to go. So the main thing you want to keep in mind is we're using back quotes in here. They're not single or double quotes. These are back quotes. And as mentioned, when you do it this way, the command that you're placing in here will be replaced by the result of executing this command. And then the nslookup command is going to be performed to the result of the execution of this command. And therefore, when we analyze the logs, we're going to be able to see the result as a subdomain. We're going to click on send, and let's go to the Collaborator client and click on poll now. And perfect. As you can see, we have a DNS request, and we can see the subdomain, the first part of it is the result of executing the uname command that we specified in here. So now you can replace uname with any command that you want to execute on the target system, and then you'll be able to see the result in your collaborator or in your logs as a subdomain. So this could be very handy if you needed to gather some information about the target before you can exploit it further, or before being able to get an interactive shell on it.